Yeah, so you asked me the other time about long distance relationship, and this is my take on it. Simply, bro, long distance relationships rarely work. Yeah, they really do. And not because the love is fake. The simple truth is that the distance is expensive. Expensive in terms of money, time, effort, and focus. Now, we're not talking about a couple. For example, a couple that already know themselves, they have built something solid, and for whatever reason, they had to go this, take on this long distance project like school or work, but with a realistic date of when to reunite. Then that might work, but I also have seen incidences where distance has put an end to relationships. So if that's the case, it might work. But if you're talking about meeting someone new online, you've not met this person, it's just someone you met online, you're trying to build something, bro, there are things you have to consider for you to even bother attempting on this adventure. Talking about you meeting someone online and then trying to build something into a relationship, bros, that is not romance. That is a project, and the project requires budget, deadlines, and then of course roadmaps. Now here's what happens. In the beginning, it's actually very, very exciting. The excitement of something new and fresh, and then it has a spice of mystery around it. So the calls are exciting. The calls, the chats, the midnight laughs. It's all beautiful. But then the gap between both of you begins to bite. And because there is no end date in sight, resentment grows. Now, missed calls turns to questions, and questions leads to suspicions. And you see yourself carrying this baggage of loneliness, hoping that one day it will end. Because the simple truth is that the essence of every relationship is to be together. And if together cannot be envisaged, you don't know when that will happen, brother, man, the whole romance turns sour. Tell me, please, how do you verify each other's compatibility when you have not seen the person handle pressure in real time? So let's imagine that the girl's love language is acts of service. How do you get to serve her virtually? And let's imagine that yours is quality time. How do you get enough of that with conflicting schedules and poor data connections? But if you decide to still go ahead, here are costs that I would advise you to count before you go ahead. One, first of all, the financial cost. Of course, flight tickets to fly and go and see the person. Secondly, you're talking about data. Then, of course, visas. You're not even guaranteed you're going to get it. And then gifts. And of course, now you're no longer buying gifts in Naira. You're buying gifts in foreign currency. Anyway, of course. So count those costs. The other cost you have to count is the cost of time. Conflicting time zones. Miss sleep so that you can have calls. Can you sustain that? Then there's the cost of emotions. Jealousy that might be triggered by misunderstanding, misreads, because this is purely built on trust. And also there's the cost of integrity. Do you trust this person to honor this relationship? Are they over there? Can you be trusted to honor your own part while you're over here? And I'm talking about, because lastly, now you guys have ignited excitement and love for each other. But consolation is not nearby because you guys are far apart. So can you be chaste when temptation is near? Think about it. So here are some non-negotiables. If long-distance relationship is what you want to venture into, regardless of all I've said, one, there must be an end date. There must be a time when this distance will be eliminated and both of you are back together. Secondly, there must be a visit plan. Who will visit? How often will we visit? Thirdly, there must be a plan to resolve conflict. When we have issues over the phone, how do we sort it out? Over the phone, over the calls, how do we resolve it? Another non-negotiable is verification. How do you verify that that person is who they say they are? So that means you have to have a plan to see their family, their real friends, and get to know the person beyond the person you see on the screen. So am I saying that distant love is fake? No, I'm just simply saying it's expensive and very, very demanding. So consider all these options and ask yourself, is it still worth venturing into? Because last, there's still no guarantee. So having said all that, if you don't have the resource and the bandwidth to deliver and coordinate all that, brother, I advise you, forget about it. Yeah, forget about it. Don't mortgage the present and the peace you have right now chasing a fantasy. It won't make sense. I hope this will have helped you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.